Hey everybody, welcome to Nomadic Moments. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to swap out a standard RV lock. It's fairly easy to do. Let's go ahead and check it out. We bought this camper used, and so it only came with one set of keys for this lock. So really want a backup spare so I don't end up having to break into the camper if we lose a set or misplace a set, or lock it in, although that would be hard to do. So yeah, I want to just replace this, so we're gonna get started. Looks pretty easy. Looks like you just remove the screws from the inside and you can swap it out. So I got the package right here and tore it open. I didn't know what it was. I expected it to kind of come a little nicer packed. It basically just comes in this box and that's it. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I need to remove the old handle. So I'm just gonna open it up. A couple of screws in here, looks like about 4. Yep, just pops right off there. I'm gonna pull this plate off. There's a little sealant in here, so I'm just gonna cut it loose for now. So there was just a little sealant on this cap piece that needed to be removed, so I just had to cut through that. That right there. So I've got all this old sealant still on the door here, and I'm out of acetone. Acetone works best, but when you're in a pinch, WD-40 will actually remove most sealants. I've coated it a little bit with the WD-40, let it sit for a few minutes, and now I'm ready to peel this stuff off. So it comes off pretty easy, but I am going to use a straight edge razor blade as well, just to make sure we got a nice smooth surface. Anyways, I'll get this finished up and then put some sealant on. Alright, the WD-40 worked. I got most of the sealant off there. I'm just using some rubbing alcohol to neutralize that WD-40, and I'll probably wash off with some water here in a second too. It also just gives me a chance to rub off the last of the sealant that I wasn't able to get off earlier. It comes off pretty easily with just a little elbow grease, so yeah, it's getting pretty clean there. I'm gonna wash it off with water and be ready to put on the new handle. So I went ahead and fit the door handle. And I guess our door is pretty small, so thin, because it leaves a gap. So I went back to the old handle and got this off. So I guess this is supposed to be used as a spacer for thinner doors, but it didn't come with the new handle. So I had to get it off the old handle. Cleaned it up real well. It's nice and clean, looks brand new. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide that on. So I got the spacer in there, as you can see. It has an opening on one side, and that's so you can slide it over the locking mechanism. So there's a pin there, so it needs to be a little wider on one side. So you just hook it over on this side and then fold it over. Pops right in there, so it's nice and flat. It's got the rubber gasket in there, so it doesn't really need any sealant on this side, but we'll need sealant on this side, the side against the door. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. Just like that. As you can see, I put a little sealant on there before I placed it in, and then I'll come back along and put some more sealant on the outside and clean it up nice and evenly. But I got the end cap there, went ahead and put the new one on, and I'm going to put the back plate on. Missed getting the latch in, got to redo that. So there's a little tooth right here that you got to get that tooth to line up with. So the latch actually works. There we go. There we go. Now it's good. Had to put in new holes because the old holes didn't line up. This is a taller piece than the old one. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to add a little bit more sealant around the edges and then clean it up real nice and even. I'll use a soapy water mixture to even it up. I use ProFlex RV for almost all my seals. Get that cleaned up and it'll be ready to go. Alright, there we have it. Got the door handle fully installed. It's weather sealed and it works. So, locked. Keys are brand new, so they're a little stiff. Well, that's it for this install, guys. As you can see, these locks are pretty easy to swap out. However, the deadbolts are pretty small, and these locks are kind of universal. There's several different sets of them, and so you don't necessarily have an individualized key. For these reasons, we didn't want to just rely on this for safety, so we actually put in a Malenko system. We call it a deadbolt. It's a larger, beefier system. If you want to check that out, we've done a video on that as well. Or check out our website, nomadicmoments.com. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead and do that right there. And until next time, guys, we're going to keep traveling.